Words with Mayor McKay.
The holidays are now behind us and we're settling back into our usual routines. We're here in the mayor's office at Nanaimo City Hall. Bill McKay looking ahead to what's in store for our fair city in 2016. Any predictions?
I predict, number one, that I'm not going to take up whitewater rafting and leave the mayor's office.
You're referring to Spencer Anderson's article, his 10 predictions. Very funny, by the way.
I predict that island ferries are going to get their funding and we're going to see them up and operating by the end of the year. And I predict that we're going to see two new truck ferries running to Nanaimo. I predict that we're going to put together a hotel proposal for behind the conference center, and I think it's going to be the best one we've ever seen. We've given a lot of thought and we've got a lot of interest in that project, so I think those are going to be the major projects for this year.
Mm-hmm. Now, playing devil's advocate a little bit, two of those predictions, the fast ferry and the hotel, are nothing new. We've had these predictions on the books before. What is different? I mean, it's kind of hard to keep getting hopes up when things don't complete.
Well, if we look at, for example, on the hotel, we look at what happened up in Kelowna. It took them over 10 years to get that
We're
hotel
approaching
project.
that mark, aren't we?
No, we're not.
Not quite?
No,
Okay.
we're not. We had the initial one out there in 2007, 8 sort of thing. But remember, every time you start with a new hotel proponent, the clock starts again. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think we're going to see something this time around. We've got a tremendous amount of interest from Asian investors that want to invest here. It's just a matter of putting the right business plan together.
And I think it's really easy, you know, for the average person, myself included, to criticize the process of a city a little bit. But you have the insight, as you mentioned, in Kelowna, 10 years. So even though we might think we're sort of stumbling along in comparison to other municipalities and other cities, we're not.
No.
We're doing pretty well.
No, if you look at Edmonton with the new Rogers Arena, that's a huge project there that's going to stimulate about $1.7 billion worth of investment. That project took 10 years to get negotiations completed. Halfway through, there was actually a divorce between the parties because we have to understand that cities are adverse to risk. Yet private enterprise, they take risks every day. Mm-hmm. So trying to come up with a relationship that's going to work for everybody and ensures that you've got all interests that are looked after, sometimes that can be difficult.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's the hard thing about predicting is predicting the unpredictable.
Right.
You never know exactly what's over the horizon. A couple of years ago, I don't think anybody would have guessed that Colliery Dams would have, you know, blown up to the issue that it did become. Mm-hmm. So is there any way to sort of get ahead of some things that we don't even know are coming yet?
You know, one of the challenges that I see in public administration is that you start out with something that seems quite small in nature and it triggers significant interest in the community. Mm-hmm. So I think
you didn't see coming.
That you didn't see coming.
That nobody would have.
Sure. So Colliery Dam is a great example of something that was relatively minor in nature. Certainly not to the people that love that park. Yeah. Not to undermine that notion, but what we need to do is we need to have conversations before those items turn into big stories.
Almost sounds like a New Year's resolution.
I agree. I would love to do, and I really want to push for example, all-day Saturday e-town halls, where in the morning you have a subject, in the afternoon you have a subject. You get subject experts there to help you with the conversation and make a day out of it before the little issues turn into the huge issues.
Excellent. Thank you. And we look forward to spending time with you in 2016 in our weekly catch-ups, wherever they may take us.
As I do too.
Thanks.